Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I'm Dr. Mrinmoy Pramanik. I teach comparative Indian language and literature at the University of Calcutta. Today, we will discuss a module on Aboriginal Australian prose, and the emphasis will be on the author Sally Morgan. In this module, we will talk about the bit context of Aboriginal Australian prose, and we'll talk about Sally Morgan's short biography and her achievements, her literary text written by her, and the contemporary debates on that, and then we will conclude. We'll talk about her famous text and other writings also to understand the prose writing in Aboriginal Australian literature. Aboriginal Australian prose. Like any other indigenous literature, Aboriginal Australian literature also was in oral tradition. Myths, legends, folk tales or any other folklores were main component of their literary creation. Storytelling, telling of long narrative also was main medium of literary expression. Painting was one of the crucial practices which accompanied the literary understanding and literary communication more powerful. The modern literary genres were brought into the land from Europe during the time of British invasion in the land. Expansion of Western education and very slow but gradual inclusion of indigenous people into the Western educational system brought awareness among the people about the systematic process of discrimination, oppression, and colonization. Indigenous literature mainly kept record by the Western anthropologists, folklorists, and some administrators, as it happened in any other part of the world where colonization happened. And we can find similar kind of experience in Indian colonization, in Indian context. The beginning of prose was about recording or archiving indigenous myths, legends, stories, and other narratives through writing. Later, these indigenous elements also were adapted by the indigenous authors and the authors of the European descent in different narratives like short story, novel, or play. The Aboriginal prose emerged with the writings about the indigenous religion, encounter of the indigenous people with the Christianity, retelling the traditional stories, telling about the tradition and culture, and most importantly about the race and ethnicity and ancestry of different communities. Gradually, in the later half of the 20th century, has observed the emergence of groups of brilliant authors from the indigenous communities who write genres translated from Europe but writes literature of their own, autobiographies, memoirs, short stories, and novels of high quality have been emerging since last 6 or 7 decades, and these are receiving critical acclamation from critics across the world and widely accepted by the readers across the world. So emergence of such kind of literary category brings a new initiative, new thought, epistemology in the world of literary criticism also. Such kind of literature does not only offer different worldview or the history of those communities, but offer a new method of criticism. Interestingly, autobiographies or memoirs or autobiographical novels, testimony, All such kind of writings are very important and common to these indigenous writers. In any indigenous aboriginal literature, we can find the plenty of memoirs or autobiographies, because their lived experience is actually worth, not only worth to be recorded, but their lived experience is worth to know to the world, and their lived experience itself is history of that community, of that person, and the relation between person, community and the outsider. And their lived experience, when it is fictionalized, when it becomes the matter of fiction, it actually recorded, it has actually recorded the history of those communities, the tradition, culture of those communities, because the genre of fiction is actually borrowed from Europe, but the theme has been adapted from their traditional culture. So while we are going to talk about the prose in Aboriginal Australian context or indigenous Canadian context, we have to think about two different kind of writings. One is the writing record of the folk myth, legend and different kind of folk lores and tales of the communities. This is one kind of writing. Another kind of writing is autobiographies, memoirs, novels, short stories, through what the prose have been practiced, and different kind of essays are also there. Sally Morgan. Sally Morgan is one of the most renowned authors of Aboriginal Australian literature. She took birth in 1951 in Perth of Western Australia. She writes and speaks in English. Her famous book is My Place. It is considered as autobiographical prose. Sometimes it is considered as novel also. It is one of the best-selling book from Aboriginal Australian literature. Sally Morgan studied in the Australian Institute of Technology and the University of Western Australia. She, though is known for her autobiography or memoir, but she is also considered as one of the most significant authors of the Australian Aboriginal children literature, and she is also a painter and playwright. During her school days, Morgan was very much conscious about her discrimination for not being white, and her own identity was not known to her by her parents for quite a long time. It was a bit disturbing to Morgan when she came to know about her identity, ancestry, and all the details about her race, racial identity. Later, once she came to know about her ancestry and identity, she started to write about her identity, her race, and she started to dig the past of the community. Discrimination. She started to talk about her people and the history she shares, not only the political history, but also about the history of her race. This was very common incident happened with other Aboriginal or indigenous writers of authors of Australia, Canada, Latin America, Africa, and even for the Indians. Indian Dalit writing is very much comparable with this perspective of writing as political tool, writing as a tool of creating history or identity. Preliminary discrimination, what the writers they have to face and what made them mature enough was used to happen in schools. The primary discrimination used to happen in schools. School children used to ask such people about their color, and this very question brought the sense of discrimination and self-consciousness among the authors we are talking about in Aboriginal Australian or Indigenous Canadian literature. Morgan was brought up by her mother and grandmother because her father was died in a battle long back, and gradually the teenager Morgan came to know about her sister's racial identity too, that her sister is from the ancestry of Bailgu people of Pilbara region of Western Australia. Through her childhood, Sally Morgan and her 4 siblings were exhorted to make something of yourselves. During troubled teenage years, Morgan told her mother, "I have got no ambitions. I can't see myself doing anything." It was Morgan's initial comments or understanding about herself when she was about to begin as a writer or authorship or writing as her career. It was her self-consciousness, her consciousness about her own identity, what will make her a successful writer. Morgan received several awards for her contribution in Aboriginal Australian writing. Those are 1987, she received Human Rights Literature and Other Writing Award for her book My Place. In 1989, she received Human Rights Literature and Other Writing Awards for again her book Wana Murayagana, the story of Jack McPhee. In 1990, she won the Order of Australia Book Prize. In 1993, she was a joint winner of Fremantle Print Award with Bevan Honey. In 1998, for children from Children Book Council, she received Notable Book Award. In 2012, again she received a Notable Book Award from Children Book Council of Australia. Her works include Sally's Story, which was edited by Barbara Kerr Wilson and published in 1995 for Narcoling Productions. My Place, and it was published by Fremantle Arts Centre Press in 1999 and first published in 1987. Wana Murayagana, the story of Jack McPhee. It was also published from Narcoling Productions in 1990. Mother and Daughter, the story of Daisy and Gladys Karunna. It was also again published from Narcoling Productions in 1994 and it was edited by Barbara Kerr Wilson. And Arthur Kuranna's story and Narcoling Productions 1995, again it is edited by Barbara Kerr Wilson. She has her notable contribution in children literature, and those are Little Piggies, The Flying Emu and Other Australian Stories, Hurry Up, Oscar, and it was illustrated by Bettina Guthridge. It was published by Puffin Books in 1994. Pet Problem, it was published by Fremantle Arts Centre Press in 1994. Dance Grandpa, it was illustrated by Brownie and Bancroft, and Sandcastle published it in 1996. In Your Dreams, it was also illustrated by Brown Wynne Bancroft and it was published by Sandcastle Books in 1997. Just a Little Brown Dog, it was published by Fremantle Arts Centre 1997, illustrated by Brownie and Bancroft. And Where is Galahad, it was published by Little Hare Books in 2015. She also has written plays like Cruel Wit Woman and David Milroy, and it was performed in Festival of Perth season in 1999. She also edited few books like Ngiyung Worth Cooling Kulak, and it was co-edited with Zil Milroy and Zalaminu Mia. And Echoes of the Past, Sister Kate's Home Revisited, it was published from Center for Indigenous History and the Arts in 2002 with the Talamenu Mia, and the photography was by Victor France. Now let us talk about her most celebrated book, My Place, which is autobiography, considered as autobiography and also considered as autobiographical novel. This book brought her fame, worldwide recognition, and this book pushed her into a great debate, which is quite interesting. My Place, this book is most significant work of Morgan, as it tells about not only her ancestry, discrimination, what they had to face, or the process of constructing own identity or the identity of her community or communities in general, but it reveals a greater reality about the life and people, those who are oppressed and forced to migrate from their own cultural, native, traditional structure of life and worldview. This book is not regarded a great work to know about the racial identity, but also the identity and struggle of the people who are oppressed because of different reasons in general. I quote, Sally Morgan published her first book, My Place, in 1987. It became a bestseller, and Fremantle Arts Centre Press reprinted it 3 times that year. From the beginning, the book enjoyed wide success and its popularity has increased in the years following. The book sold 110,000 copies in Australia in about a year and a half from publication. By 1919, a total of more than 5 lakhs copies had been sold in that country and abroad. The book brought the author the 1987 Human Rights and Equal Opportunity Commission Award for Literature and 1988 Braille Book of the Year Award and the 1989 Western Australian Citizens of the Year Award for Arts, Literature and Culture. Thus, Sally Morgan has firmly established herself as a voice for indigenous people in the world. Unquote. So this book is not only limited to talk about the success of the author or brilliancy of the author. Undoubtedly, this book is a remarkable voice, a revolutionary voice for the indigenous people. And it gives courage to write, to talk about themselves to the indigenous communities or any other oppressed communities. So such kind of writing is very much motivational. It can politically motivate different oppressed sections, different kind of readers of different geographical locations. So in that sense, such kind of books stand as symbol of raising voice. I quote again, Sally Morgan's My Place is a story of a young Aboriginal girl growing up to false heritage and not knowing where she is from. Recounts of several of Morgan's family members are told. The storytelling revolves around Morgan's own hometown Perth, Western Australia, and also Corunna Downs. Morgan has 4 siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. She faces many challenges, such as fitting in at school, getting good marks for acceptance in university, and living life without her father. So, such experiences actually made the mind of an author called Sally Morgan. This book of My Place is not only about the indigenous voice or not only about their right, but also about a becoming of a girl child from an indigenous community who actually belongs to a liminal space, who does not know where from she is coming, where she will go, what is the objective of her life, and how to confront with the barriers, the hurdles she is facing in different places she is going. So this is a story of becoming of a girl, and it can offer a new perspective of indigenous feminism, the right of a girl child or right of feminine gender. So My Place has been talked about a lot, and I think there are other indigenous works that get overlooked and should be examined more closely. Glen C. Ward was inspired to write by Jack Davies, one of Australia's most important Aboriginal playwrights, who wrote a series of plays in the 70s and 80s about the Nyungar, Western Australian Aboriginal experience. Morgan published a second book in 1989, which is Wana Muragania, about her elderly relative Jack McPhee, and after the 5 books for children. But My Place remains her most influential work, not least because it broke new ground as a model for other writers. From the earliest draft, Ray Coffey says he recognized a potential for a very distinctive book, something never done before. Coffey, with fellow editor Clive Newman, had uncovered work of rare power before with Albert Faces A Fortunate Life, the publisher's all-time bestseller before My Place. Sally Morgan's bestseller My Place was made a compulsory text in countless with schools across the nation, and that brought the publishing of this book in wide range. Huge number of books used to be published each year for being the part of the school curriculum. Students and teachers, they used to refer this book as factual, and it appeared as most factual, believable text for the indigenous Aboriginal community of Australia. This book, My Place, created a different world, presented a world of indigeneity among the indigeneity in front of the indigenous people. Through reading of this book, the Aboriginal indigenous people or the other readers, they used to know about the indigenous world or world of indigeneity. It was represented, it became a most faithful knowledge about the indigeneity. And here lies the debate. Some critics debated that this book is not factually correct. There are lots of imagination. This book is not only factual, but it is fictitious. And the book is personal discovery narrative where Sally in Perth gradually persuades her mother Gladys, grandmother Daisy, and great uncle Arthur to reveal their life stories. Sally and her mother recognize their true Aboriginal identity and find their inner lives transformed. Tony Thomas talks in My Place, A Betrayal of Trust. And Tony Thomas commented that My Place acts as an indigenous account of history in Australia and provides it in a way that is injected with emotion. Typically a historiography, the aim of its writing is objective and factual to construct a narrative that is rational, cool, and aspires towards achieving some truth. Morgan, though, presents her history as though she is telling a story which is connected to Aboriginal identity. More than often, indigenous people do not tell their history through the reproduction of books, but through oral history. Oral history causes the person telling the history or his story and the person listening to engage more closely with each other and create a bond. The storyteller and the listener creates a bond with the narrative, telling of narrative and the listening of narrative. And this is how history works. The history relates the people of different generation, and history goes on. It is clear when meeting with Aboriginal people that despite or perhaps because of increasing levels of participation in Western post-secondary education, oral tradition and storytelling are still central to Aboriginal personal or community identity. The POF commented it in the importance of storytelling. The oral history Indigenous Australians see as a culturally and emotionally important way of telling history is incorrect in the academic world where historiography is concerned. So the My Place appears as factual to the most of the readers, and it appears as a historiography, talking history, a method of talking history of an indigenous community, because the storytelling is actually historiographical. The passing narrative from one generation to another generation through story is actually historiographical work, though the My Place or the work like My Place is not considered as historiography in the academic discipline, but in popular notion, in popular perception, it is a historiographical work or historical work. But there are several critics who do not believe that this book is at all factual, but it is based on some fact, but it is mostly fictitious. So here lies the debate on the historicity of this book, My Place. I quote that unlike Windschattle, Atwood does not critique My Place with the same negativity. His particular question in regards to Sally Morgan are: why is it that Morgan has constructed herself in terms of being Aboriginal? What is the unconscious or conscious problem that belief in her Aboriginality solves for Morgan, or what wishes or desires does this belief satisfy? Whilst My Place has helped to construct Aboriginal identity for Indigenous Australians other than Morgan, Atwood questions why this book has helped them do so. Identity is a construct, and Aboriginal identity is one that Morgan has adopted late in life rather than being raised with it. By comparison with other Aboriginal writers, then one could argue that Morgan's Aboriginality is forged through the creation of the text rather than reverse. I love My Place and think that it is a highly important book that presents an Aboriginal perspective of the past. Rather, it is a highly indigenous perspective. However, I agree with Ben Atwood in saying that this book helped to create Sally Morgan's identity rather than a book being created as a result of her Aboriginal past. I wonder whether Morgan would hold the same views and identity if she had decided against writing a book of her family history. She does, though, embark on a journey of self-discovery which can also shape a person's identity further from what it already was. Unquote. So, from this whole discussion and the comment what I quoted here, we can understand that it is debatable based on the My Place that Morgan did not reconstruct or represent herself as Aboriginal author because she born up with Aboriginal consciousness. It is some critics' view that what is the need for Morgan to reconstruct the identity of Aboriginality or indigeneity with her upbringing or with her identity, her essential identity, because she was not conscious about her Aboriginal identity in the very beginning, but she actually perceived her Aboriginal identity later while she was about to begin her writing. But such kind of criticism definitely has its own merit, but it is not the matter of any easy matter, or it is a light matter to or it is a matter to blame the author that why she is perceiving or reconstructing her Aboriginal identity through her literary practices when she is mature enough or when she is adult enough. But the thing is that why she is writing it? Because she had her experience or ancestral history of Aboriginality, and she successfully became the voice of Aboriginality and the symbol of Aboriginality through her different writing, like the writing of My Place and all. So there might not be any problem to accept this book as an authentic Aboriginal writing or an authentic voice of Aboriginal history, because that history or that writing, the validity of writing already validated with the reception of this book by the wide range of readers across the communities, across the groups of Australia and different other parts of the world, because it is a political stand to establish, to identify herself as Aboriginal, because it is not the history, which is connected very much through her life. She has to reconnect the history. She has to discover herself and her racial identity, and then she wrote literature like My Place and other things. It is also political that why she was not aware about her own identity, why she has to know about her identity when she became a teenager. So it is her right, and she also can blame against the system that why she was not aware of it. And when she became aware of it, she actually relates herself with the past, with the ancestry. And this is the significance of this writing. So let us conclude by saying that we have discussed here about the context of Australian prose, and in that context why Sally Morgan is important and how the prose is actually made or constructed in this Aboriginal Australian context, which is kind of similar with the context of different ex-colonies. And we have discussed and quoted the comments of several critics about Sally Morgan's My Place and the contemporary debate which is going on with this. And that debate is also very significant to revisit the whole concept of Aboriginal literature and the people's and the authors claiming on this Aboriginality. And we being a reader from very distant geographical, cultural and political location, we have to think about all these two perspectives, and we also have to think that why My Place and Sally Morgan is actually placed in this way. We are, so from different perspective we have discussed these issues. For further reading, you can consult the further reading file, and you can also see the reference section and the links provided here. And for self-assessment, you can consult the self-assessment file. Thank you.